So this is what a standard Landsat 8 file will look like. You have your various bands here, bands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then you have your metadata file here. Something to note. It's always in an MTL. And you'll get such things as the path and row of the scene, the date when the scene was acquired, the corner latitude and longitude, UTM, all the various things that you need. But for today, we're going to concentrate on just compositing an image here, and we're going to start with a true color image, which would be bands 4, 3, and 2. And we're going to open that up and use Adobe. And you can use any Adobe that you have. I'm using the latest one, and so we have bands 4, 3, and 2 that have loaded up into the program. And then over in the right hand corner, there will be a channels button, and if you don't see it there, you can always go to Window and go to and find your channels and make sure it's open. Then we click on the little hamburger here. And we will merge the channels. And in this case, we're going to do a red, green, blue color channel. And then we order it up in red, green, and blue. So that'd be band 4, band 3, and band 2. Band 4 in red, band 3 in green, and band 2 in blue. Click OK, and then you're going to get a nice image, and you'll notice that it's rather dark. So we have to adjust for the atmosphere. And so we'll go back here to our layers portion. Okay, and you'll find adjustments. And again, if you need to find the adjustments, you go up to a window drop down and you can get the adjustments on your screen. And to start, we are going to select a white point here. We're going to use this white point dropper right down here. And in this case, I'm probably going to use some clouds, and click on the white point and you'll notice a change quite immediately. So generally speaking, you want to find the whitest point on the scene that you can find. And if you hit your Alt key, you'll be able to see where your white point is selected. So now I selected a new white point. Zoom in to about 100%. And get a nice view of your image here, and you can still see that it's pretty cloudy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do another adjustment, and this time we're going to use our curves. And we're going to adjust the curves on this. Okay, so we're going to take the blue and we're going to bring it about halfway down or so. Okay, and you notice there's a lot of green, so I might take that down a little bit too, and take the red down a little as well. Next thing I'm going to do is brighten it up a bit, so I'm going to go and click the overall RGB and adjust the curves there. And you're going to notice that it's quite a bit brighter. Now, of course, you start to see that it's a little bit too contrasty. And you can see that there's a bit too much green in there, and you can tell that especially by the water. So we'll take the green down just a little bit more. And at a certain point, you'll get to a point where you should probably use the arrow keys just to drop it down like 1 or 2. And we'll bring this out actually, so you can see what I'm talking about. So right down here, the input number. bring the blue back up a little bit so it looks a bit more natural. And then let's take a look at the reds here. I think that's looking pretty darn good. We might bring it in just a little bit further with the RGB here. Give it a little bit more contrast here. No, I'd still say that these mountain areas here are a little bit dark, but you can spend quite a bit of time fixing it and making sure that it looks pretty natural. And in fact, one of the ways I might do this is to bring up an image of the particular area and see how it looks on a nice bright sunny day to see if the colors look correct. This is a standard natural color image, and this is of the Lompoc Vandenberg area. I would generally save it as a Photoshop file, and then eventually, if I wanted to make a regular image, save it as a JPEG or a .tiff. Now, if we want to make a false color image, in this case, we'll go for one of the standard ones. So we'll use bands 5, 4, and 3. So this is going to be near infrared, red, and green. And this is going to be a false color image. And again, we're going to open those bands up in Photoshop. And we're going to go to our channels. So let's bring the channels over here. And we're going to merge the channels. Into 5, 4, and 3 respectively. So 5 for red, 4 for green, and 3 for blue. Click OK, and then you're going to get a nice false color image. And it should look something like this. So all of that vegetation is reflecting back near infrared extremely well. And that's what we're seeing in this. And so we put that in the red band, and so naturally the red is going to be more prominent. Okay, and then we are going to go to our adjustments because again, it's not bright enough, and we're not going to do quite the same amount of adjusting in the near infrared or in the false color as we would in the natural color. So we can bring that up, bring that in a bit, get a little bit more contrast. And really, that's about all there is to it. You can sit there and fiddle with it and all that and make it pretty, but I wouldn't go too far with this. And what this is going to show you, again, if you take a look at the fields and all that, you can sort of see like the newer growth fields from the older growth fields, and of course definitely the fields with vegetation in there as opposed to the fields that look like are freshly tilled, and so on and so forth. New growth forest versus old growth forest. The newer growth stuff is definitely generally going to look a bit lighter in the reds, and there's going to be a much deeper sort of red, generally speaking, for the older growth. And that's what you're seeing here. Next, we'll do one more false color. We sort of call it a pseudo-false color image, and we're going to use bands 7, 5, and 3 for Landsat 8. Okay, this is shortwave infrared, near infrared, and green. Open that up. And now again, we can go to our channels, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Go to red, green, blue color, and line them up respectively in 7, 5, and 3. And then you're going to get to see some nice brilliant greens here, especially in images with the vegetation. So again, the near infrared is showing up, and this time it's in the green band. Okay, but you also do have some shortwave infrared, and that's going to pick up some interesting things as well. And you're also going to get to see some nice contrast between the fields and all that. So let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and do our adjustments. Brighten that up a bit, bring that in a bit. Now it's looking pretty good. And this is a PseudoFalse Color image of the Lompoc area. You can see all that beautiful vegetation there. And of course, if we click down in, you can see the fields very clearly outlined, and of course, all the vegetation. And that concludes the compositing and Photoshop tutorial for Landsat 8 imagery. Thank you.